What up, guys? One more time, we on the Albinoverse. How you guys doing? Alright, my name is Nathan Hurd, and this is the podcast. It's not about anything. There's nothing. I don't even know what I wanted to talk about. Actually, it's crazy. The last couple of days, I've actually had some shit to do. Yesterday I had to go get an epidural, like a shot in it. Every time I say epidural, I feel like that's the shit that they give women to get through pain in pregnancy. I thought that was specifically like that's what y'all only got that. I didn't realize the dudes got that shit too for back. Doctor said I need a backiotomy, but nah, they had to put I got a bulging disc, so they had to squeeze that in there full of shit. It was crazy. I don't like doctors. I'm afraid of doctors. That's not I don't like them. I respect the hell out of them, but I'm terrified. I don't know why. I almost got my leg amputated, and that might have something to do with it. But it's definitely some fear there. It's real. But the procedure went down. It was all good. Everything's okay. I don't feel any different yet, but they said it'll take a couple days for the steroid to take effect. And other than that, man, yeah, back out. I went and just had a fitting today for a new pilot that I'm gonna be on. Not a pilot, actually a new show coming out. I believe in spring. I believe it's coming out in spring. It's called This Fool, and I'm gonna play a small part in one of the episodes on that. It's crazy. My homie, one of my best friends, is on the show. He's on the show, and he didn't give me the job or anything. I just auditioned for it, and it just so happened that it was the show he was already on. But that's cool. Getting to be able to work with the homie. That's literally my goal. My goal is to just be the new incarnation of the Sandler crew. Just make content, movies, albums, TV shows, musicals, specials. Just do shit with your homies for 25 years. How is that not the goal? That's the goal. They just get to make what they fucking want. Everybody want to talk shit about Jack and Jill, but I would love the freedom to be able to make that movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, and not have to care what the critics said or what the art. Because here's the thing: people still went and saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people talk shit about Adam Sandler all the time about his movies, but he's one of the best comedic actors out there, and he's also a phenomenal actor. And Happy Madison is his company. It's worth like $3 billion. He's doing okay. Not that that's the motivation. I think that he just wanted to fucking have fun with his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't want to do that? That's all I want to do. Not for anybody, just making projects, man. I would love to play like The Color Blue. Come on, man. It'd be awesome. But that's going to be fun. I think, like I said, it come out sometime in May. And then, I also recently was on an episode of Magnum PI, just a small part was on one of the episodes, and that comes out, I believe, like January or February. And then I was on a very, very small part, just like 1 or 2 lines on a show called Abbott Elementary, and I believe that comes out. The first episode comes out later this month. I don't remember what episode I was on, but yeah, that should probably come out sometime early next year. And yeah, so that's good. I've actually booked 4 roles in the past 6 months, and I didn't book nothing in the first 16 years of being in Hollywood. So if you love it, do it because you love it, not because you get something that you think somebody else is going to like. If you do it for the money, you're not going to be successful, because you got to do it for the love. Just because you're not going to get, there's a good chance you're not going to get money. I try not to, money it's not really a huge motivator for me, because it doesn't in itself have any dopamine, and my ADHD is searching for dopamine. And if money can get me to the thing that I want to do, that's going to give me the dopamine, but money in and of itself does nothing for me. Just having some of it or a lot of it doesn't give me anything. So I focus much more on the things that I want to accomplish, and just in life. Like, if I want like a new pair of man, but that's what's been going on in my day. My little neighborhood over here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's been, I mean, like, I always get kind of sad, kind of like seasonal depression-y around the holidays. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm actually going to probably go home back up to Washington this Christmas to see my moms and shit. But boy, them tickets are looking expensive. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. But the last time I was looking, the tickets were like the cheapest tickets round trip were like $650. So I don't know. People might not be getting no goddamn presents, is all I'm trying to say. Like, that might be the present. Me showing up broke as hell. You know what I mean? Like, that might be the thing that's under the tree. Just me sleeping there in a bath towel. You feel me? Like, that might have to be what it's be. But I'm going to still try and go. You know, I see moms. You know what I'm saying? Got to see moms. What else? Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I got to see the homies. The homie Ming. You know, the homie Davey, DZ gonna be in town. Like, those are my way backs. Those are like my brothers. Like 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Like those day one motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? Like the motherfuckers that I knew Ming. Oh, David is Ming's brother, but I've been friends with them both since 7th grade. I met Ming in 7th grade. He was actually the first person that I ever really saw in Washington. When I moved from Florida to Washington in 7th grade, I moved like 4 days before school started. So I had to go to this new school, and it was just a culture shock from hell. Not only because I think there was 2 black kids in the school. Nobody knew what an albino was. Nobody knew what legally blind was. And they really didn't have a huge interest in like black people. So like I was all fucked up. Also wasn't diagnosed with ADHD yet, and they didn't know what the fuck that was either. So I couldn't see the board, and I had ADHD, which means I was disruptive as fuck and bullied a lot. But the first day of school, I remember the first class I went to, I had signed up for I think it was band, and then the second class, I think it was PE, and Ming had PE with me, and I remember seeing him, and then I think I had like I remember following him to the third class that we had, and that was blocked. It was like 3 classes. It was like English, math. It was like 3 classes in history, something like that. It was like 3 classes, and you had those 3 classes with the same teacher. And I remember being in this block class, and I'd never really seen Asian people before, like in person, like because there's not a lot of Asian people in Florida. And while I travel a lot, I've never been in a fully like one thing neighborhood. Most of the neighborhoods that I've been in, even now, have been like black people, white people, Hispanic people, Haitian people, El Salvador. Like, it's never been just one type of thing. Well, I mean, I've had friends in those neighborhoods where it was like in the hood, there was white people in my hood. Like, not a lot, but like they were there. And then when we moved to another hood, there was like, which was a trailer park, there was black people in the trailer. You know what I mean? Like, so it was I was always in a very diverse situation. And then getting to Washington, there was nothing. It was Asian people and white people. That was just it. And so I remember going to class, and I hadn't really talked to anybody all day because I was just like, I didn't want to move, and I was unhappy, and I was scared, and I was new, and I was weird looking, and I was very aware of it now. And I remember the first person I talked to was Ming, because there was another Chinese girl. Ming's Chinese. There was another Chinese girl in our block class named Lynn, and she was cute as shit. I had a crush on Lynn for years, and she was nice. She never wanted to fuck with me, but she was nice about it most of the time. Mostly because she felt sorry for me, as most people did. But I remember the first thing I spoke up, the first question I asked anybody at this new school was, I asked Ming, I was like, "Hey, yo, is that your sister?" Like, the racism was where I went first. I didn't know. They looked alike. So I just assumed that they were brother and sister. The funny thing is that they damn near were. They were very, very close. Their families were really, really close, but they were not brother and sister. I actually ended up later on convincing Ming to date Lynn for a little bit, because because I wanted to be close to her, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna get to. So please, like at least the homie can do something. And he dated her for a little bit, and it was like a high school dated her. Like it was like they were basically dating, but they didn't really talk to each other, and or do anything. I don't think they wanted to date each other. I think that everybody wanted them to date because they were both smart and Asian and Chinese. And I feel like that was the only reason. But Lynn was like a straight A student because that's what she liked to do. She would put so much stress on herself for grades. And Ming was a straight A student, but now he was hanging out with me, who was a straight D student, and he was like, some of the shit you do is fun. I was a bad influence, just to like that's just what that's what that was. But yeah, man. Ming was the first person I met in Washington, and we still friends to this day. And his brother, once we were seniors and he was a freshman, his brother, I would always go over to the house, and so I was already friends with his brother. And his brother was in like 5th grade, and we would, they would go stuff. I would go do stuff to do with their family because my mom worked late all the time, so I got close to their whole family. And even though I know that his parents did not particularly like me a lot of the time, they fucking were the most welcoming family. There was 2 families in Washington that were very, very welcoming to me. Like as a family, like the whole family. And that's Ming's family and David's family and my homie Charles' family and his brother Chris. And their mom and Charles and Chris and his mom, they were 2 black kids, played football together, basketball together. I still talk to them to this day. We don't keep in contact like we would, but like they're still good people, still communicate with them. And I met them probably within the first month. So the people that I met first in Washington, I stayed friends with the longest. And Ming, honestly, is probably the only person Ming and Dave are the only people from high school I still even talk to, even remotely. And I talk to them frequently, but like, there's nobody. There was one other person, Trevor, that was like our squad. We were the V squad, Voltron, because we came together like Voltron, because we were all very different, but we just worked together. It was me, Trevor, called him Trayvon, you know what I mean? Ming, you know what I mean? Called him Woo, you know what I'm saying? Like David, we called him Deezy or Little Woo. And then my brother Lee, we called him Lee Reezy, we called him HG Guzzle, we called him Brother Come Shady, called him Red. He had a lot of nicknames. And it was the 5 of us, and we would just hang out all the fucking time, man. We would just hang out all the time. So we was the V Squad, man. I need to make some V Squad merch. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the next thing I'm gonna start doing, make some V Squad merch. Because like DZ now he works for ILM. He's a digital effects guy. Ming is I think he works for the sheriff's department. He's not a cop, but he works for the sheriff's department. And then Trevor died. He got murdered in France. We weren't there, but like in 2006, that happened, and that sucked. That sucked. I still haven't actually been to his grave. I haven't been able to bring myself to do it. I was close with Trevor. I was really, 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 really close with Trevor, and that was really. And it happened 2 years after I moved, and Trevor basically saved my life because. There was a part when I was homeless, and him and his family let me stay with him. He's a white dude, but his mom was from South Africa. And he has a brother named Brandon. Brandon was really cool, but yeah, Trevor was he was the homie, and he basically let me stay with him and his family for free, basically, for like 2-3 months when I was homeless. And yeah, man, that's the homie. And then my brother lives in Missouri. He's not my blood brother, but he's close as because we grew up together. He started hanging out with my family. My mom basically adopted him too because his home life was not great, and we were just so close. And so so me, Lee, Trevor, Ming, V Squad, and DZ is actually he's the Black Lion. He's actually the head because he kind of, since he was so much younger than like us. Now, I mean, not now obviously, but when we were younger, he was so much younger. He was like 4 years younger than us, freshman, senior. he took parts of us and kind of molded him. Like, he was still really smart like Ming, still got good grades like Ming. He could function on his own like Trevor. He was a good person, but like, he just like took traits from all of us. He even took traits from my brother. Kicked a motherfucker in the stomach on a class trip. That's hilarious to me. But yeah, DZ come together like that. And then Trevor was the blue line. I was the yellow line, mostly because I'm fat and I like yellow. And then Lee was the red line. Ming was the green line because he a nerd. You know what I'm saying? We made Trevor the blue line. Not because he a bitch. He wasn't a bitch. He screamed like one when I snapped him in the nuts with a towel one time. But not a bitch. That's the homie. So, yeah, man. I kind of rambled on about that for a little bit. Apologize. Hope you enjoyed it. So, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Albinoverse. Be back next week. Talk about some more random shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You guys have any topics that you want me to talk about on the Albinoverse, please do so. Please let me know in the comments and everything. And also, my album is out streaming right now. Nathan Hurd, Always Telling Stories. It's a comedy telling album. It's a storytelling album. Please go get that on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. My merch is a link in the bio. There's also links on my Instagram and YouTube. YouTube, TikTok. Please go follow me on all platforms. It's Nathan Hurd Comedy on most, and then on Twitter it's Nate Hurd Comedy. And yeah, man, keep your eye out for some of the shows that I'm coming up in, and some of the comedy shows that I'm going to be doing, because I'm gonna be doing some shit. I got some shit planned. There's some good things gonna happen, and you guys are gonna be part of it. So thank you guys so much, and I'll holler at y'all next week. Deuces.